usually you chime in with news at 6, but that's fine. You don't.
Do we need to start over again?
No, it's fine. Recent
News at 6!
Love you.
Recent news for January 2080. So, between the Channel 5 helicopter being shot up, I wonder who did that,
Don't give me that look, Jack.
and the station being taken over, they're doing some community outreach. They're also looking for some new staff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They lost some people.
Related to the execution of the board member on top of the old Mayuken Incorporated building, based on continuing violence, the terrorist Thanos Coolwind is believed to be exclusively responsible for that execution. No additional information has come forward about the other 2 individuals on top of the roof. Investigators are no longer looking for these 2 individuals. They've kept their heads down. Enough time has passed. Other factors are considered. So, what's been going on with the bat salts?
Ah, yes. So, as they've been looking into it and trying to find more evidence of the illicit bath salt use, it has proven to not be a major drug on the market. The mystery still eludes the authorities of what is causing this strange turn of behavior. It does not appear to be drug-related. Possible gang activity being looked into.
Okay, then has there been more of those strange behaviors that you've talked about?
It has been affecting more individuals more often. The cases do not appear linked, which is puzzling the Lone Star Police Department further.
Okay. We would also like to apologize about the false rumor about peanut butter. Not, in fact, a new street drug. Just actually, peanut butter.
Huh.
That's on us. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yep.
Our bad, we accept this one.
The status of Neonet.
Neonet's looking a little rough, guys. Like, it's taken like a 5% dip in stocks, which...
They haven't been able to fix the rolling blackouts.
No. The rolling blackouts are still a thing. And 5% doesn't seem like much, but for a megacorp, that's making some headlines.
That's big money, boys.
There's been a lot of people taking their stuff away from Neonet because it's not reliable anymore. People have been reporting their devices getting weird malware that's bogging it down, and it's like a Clippy figure that wants to help, but it helps by bricking their devices, and it doesn't look like Clippy. It just looks like a weird sphinx.
I assume a hacker group is to blame at this point.
Neonet's blaming hackers, but no group has come out and claimed this, which is not really what hackers tend to do. They like to showboat. Like, even the hackers are just like, "Ow, fam, it's good work though. Good on you."
As you may remember, Seattle Bank and Trust had been robbed.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
They had lost significant new yen in that process. Apparently, they made the decision to perform a sort of retaliation against Shadowrunners because they still do not know the identities of the Shadowrunners who had robbed that bank. They reached out to several Deckers, and they just had every known Shadowrunner account drained.
We broke, fam.
So they turned to like some sort of individual group and said, "Hey, if you find anyone who is known for illicit activities, drain their bank accounts."
Basically, I like to think that the way they did it was as like a spiderweb effect of you get someone, you then get another person, you then get another person, and it's any Shadowrunner you can identify. Drain their accounts because who are they going to go to? The police.
Right.
So the attack on St. Anthony's on Christmas Eve is believed to have been organized by the eco-terrorist known as Ink. Yeah.
What?
Apparently, Ink's been running with a really rough crowd, and all the information police had been able to find indicated that she was one of the higher-ups involved in that attack.
Get got, son. This is what you get for killing my family!
And then, most recently, a body was found outside of the Half Pint. Could you share a little bit more information on that?
Yes. About 6 a.m., the owner's wife was arriving at the scene to open the establishment for the morning shift, and she discovered the body of a young woman in a sort of scantily clad, one might say, lying sprawled in front of the bay window of the Half Pint bar. It's a kind of hole in the wall kind of establishment, a little bit of a rougher part of town, but things like this usually don't happen on that street, so the police aren't quite sure what to make of it, to be honest.
Is there any other information about the murder?
It doesn't appear to have happened at the Half Pint itself. It seems that the body was dumped there, but it did seem to be displayed almost.
And then, do we have an ID on the body, or
the weapon?
It appears to be some sort of explosive round, but in what type, they're not sure. There's not much left to take for ballistics.
My immediate reaction to this is that this is Artemis inviting Negrescu out to play, and that it was an explosive arrow.
That's literally exactly it.
Son of a bitch! God damn it!
That's literally exactly what it is. Like a cat, she's like, I made a friend, I'm gonna leave you a present. That's so funny, because I wasn't gonna explain it unless somebody, like, brought it up. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's really funny. But, upon seeing the news, depending on his state of being that night, Apollo might perhaps recognize this woman.
Is Apollo's DNA on this woman? Or in
How
this
did he
woman?
That's a
call
great
in
question.
Can he be called in for questioning?
Apollo always wraps it. Listen, he doesn't need little
That
baby...
seems like a lot of responsibility
He
for
doesn't-
Apollo.
doesn't need little baby Apollos running around. That cramps his style.
And think about Apollo in this respect. I truly think he's the kind of guy that is. This is gonna sound terrible, and I'm just realizing this is the first part. He's not gonna want to give his sister anything. So.
Oh, God.
We'll start with those we know first, so that the two who we don't know currently can get their shit together, just in case they don't have it yet.
Okay.
So, what has Negrescu been doing since we last saw him?
So, since Bloody Monday, he's been feeling a lot better. So much better that he, in fact, went home. Like nothing ever happened.
Oh. It would be just as you left it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't really mention anything to Tony. He's just kind of back in the picture all of a sudden.
Right. I'm sure Tony's got a lot of questions, but I don't think he's gonna ask.
No. There's probably one night between then and now where he kind of catches Tony on a late night, early morning, and he poses a question to Tony, and he asks him if Tony thinks that Negrescu is the universe's answer to meta-humanity.
Been sneaking into the stash, kid?
So Tony laughs it off.
Yeah, he kind of does. He's kind of trying to see, are you saying this with genuine curiosity, or are you building up into some kind of monologue of no humility? Is really what it is. So he's tossing the water with a joke.
No, he just taps his head and he just says he's been thinking. So he doesn't pursue that conversation anymore with you.
Yeah. Because to be honest, you're so above Tony's pay grade. Biology wasn't his thing. Chemistry was. He doesn't know what you are. And to be honest, I think he really values you around the place because at the end of the day, you are the nuke in his pocket. If anything goes wrong, he's got the biggest pit bull in the fucking fight. And I think whether or not it's true, Tony truly believes you care in the way that perhaps you might not actually be capable. I don't know, but
He just wasn't prepared for a philosophical discussion.
yeah, especially a philosophical discussion where he knows there's actually an answer. There is, but not his field. He's already struggled enough with thinking that you are just killing people for fun, because he does know, but he's no saint. He's done things not for fun, but he's killed his fair share of people. Just don't bring it to his house, and you have it. But he's not righteous. He's too righteous to say, yeah, man, play God over everybody else, except me and mine.
Well, you say he hasn't brought it to his house.
That he knows of.
Okay, yeah, no. Negrescu wouldn't mention that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't tell him what that message was. It was meant for him.
Right.
But, and then there's one other thing that Negrescu would have been up to since Bloody Monday until now. And that's, he's looking for a debt to be repaid. And how he would approach this is, he doesn't hold value on money. So, he's very much an eye for an eye. Alright. Yeah, no, he hasn't been binge eating anymore, so in those last 40 or so days, there's only been about 14 people who have gone missing, but there's been no new information on that. So
Going on a diet?
no, he's not eating his feelings anymore.
Oh.
So, no, he's just eating less. He's also been spending a significant amount of his time, because he hasn't been doing jobs now for the last 40 days, tracking the man that took his finger. And what he would have done, he has been hunting long enough to know that he can put himself in a better bargaining position if he first runs his prey to exhaustion before asking for what he wants. He would let his police, or he would let the police and his new informant do the work for the good first couple days. He's tapped into some of the drug addicts in Seattle to feed him information, and he's been having Thanos tracked whenever the motorbike is seen. He'll usually give him about anywhere from a half hour to an hour to get comfortable before he then has the police informed, sets him off on a chase, he loses them, he waits for intel to reach him, or he goes to that location, just stakes it out for a little bit to see where he could be, notifies the police, have them chase him, and he'll do this for a couple of days. Because he doesn't want him thinking clearly. He wants him a little bit on edge. He wants him exhausted. He wants to approach him when he has the mentality of, I just want this to stop. Until he showed up, probably got a knife or something on like a little fold-out table between them, and just waited, as if he expected Thanos to know exactly what the score was.
You get your finger.
So what has Taker been up to since the last time we saw him? It's been a while.
Yeah, he was last seen on...
Was it the tanker mission?
Grim, when
Ellie got beheaded.
Grim Tidings
4.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that was the last time he ran. The last time he was seen was Bloody Monday. He had gone back to Ireland for holidays and stuff around that time, and was enjoying, hanging out at home with his family when he sees a guy he killed on TV.
Who was it that he saw that he killed?
He saw Anorcy, and he grabbed his gear, flew back home, or back to Seattle, kitted himself out because he saw the gear that the guy had last time we saw him, and the fact that they had some beat sticks last time he saw him, so he needed some better close quarters gear. He hasn't slept much for the last month or so.
Yeah.
So in 40 days, he can be awake for 6 days, and then he's asleep for a day. He's been awake for the better part of 35 days.
So he's been spending time in the Orc Underground, then?
Oh, everywhere. Yep. Absolutely everywhere. He bought a new setup for his gun that allows him to set the gun up, and the gun will move around and aim and all that stuff. Okay. And so that's how he's been able to relax at all.
Now, refresh my memory. In Bloody Monday, the party did face off against Anorcy.
Yes.
Were the cameras rolling during his execution?
Yes.
Okay, so despite the fact that on apparent live TV, Anorcy has met his demise, Taker has at this point reached the spot in paranoia where he still doesn't believe he is